Hi again. This is T-9 launch log. And today I took a little bit of a break. Um, Basically worked a half day. This is Saturday my time. Um, and yeah, so I didn't get as much done, but I still got some stuff done, which matters to me because I need to ship stuff every day or I'm not going to make this. I didn't end up doing any work on the site again. I think I've basically decided that I'm going to take over the coding for myself because Podia is just not good enough in its design, and I guess I'm just a little bit more ambitious. So I'm going to take over that design, but I haven't done anything yet. I made that decision. Okay, so a little bit of a small thing. I had some back and forth with Michael Hartle, cover table of contents, and he was like, "Yeah, we noted this issue before where like the double-digit numbers were overlapping too closely, and the auto-generated table of contents didn't really give me any ability to edit that with." And Michael Hardo was like, "Yeah, sorry, you're on your own." So I managed to Google the answer. I left it in the GitHub for other people. But basically, we went from this really ugly thing to this with a little bit nicer spacing. And basically, what it was let me just show you the code. If you head over to book, so we used to have the auto-generated table of contents here, and that was controlled by softcover. So what we ended up doing was delete that, right? And then now I have a toc.md. This is my TOC, but then over here, I'm actually going to take over and write raw latex that generates latex. It turns out has its own table of contents command. And so all we need to do is just insert these 4 lines, these 5 lines that add a little bit of margin. And I just copied and pasted that because other people have had this issue. So that was about it. I mean, obviously I can get fancier now that I know this, but it's still, not very well documented. Okay. So that's the spacing issue. Then the spend money bit was Sketchnotes. I've been putting this off because I don't know how to buy art. And the first I actually started on 99 Designs because I've heard of it the most. And I was like, oh, I could buy a nice cover. But I mean, honestly, I'm pretty happy with the cover that I have. It's made cheaply, it's free, but it's good enough. And that's a value that I try to preach as well, right? Like, this looks good enough. It's not a physical book. People get it. It's a mock. And I don't need a professional cover. So, and plus this cost like $1,000. $279, right? So like, yeah, 99 Designs is a little bit higher price. Like it goes up to like 1.2k. And then if you go to their other thing, which was, what's the other one I thought about, brand identity pack. So I was like, oh, I should have a consistent brand across the site and the book. It starts at $849. So I mean, it's not like impossible, but certainly something I don't want to quickly spend money on. Like, this is very, very consistent. Like it's meant for businesses, and it's cheap for business. It's just not cheap for a self-published book. So yeah, I decided against that, and then I went on Fiverr and started shopping, and I found some people who do good sketchnotes for $100 each. So this lady does it. She's not super active, so I'm a little bit worried that she might not deliver. But if she can do something like this for one of my essays, I think that'd be great. So, basically you send her the essay, and then she's gonna make the illustration. And then you have to pay a little bit extra for like back and forth and stuff like that. But I think I think this is good enough that I could use it. I wanted to spread my risk as well, so because I don't really know who this person is, so I also spread my risk to this other guy, Sam Gill. Same deal, but he seems to have done a bit more business on this platform. I don't like his art as much. This one looks a little bit dry. She's a little bit more creative. um, more just cute pictures and stuff like that. So this is a little bit more dry, but he seems to know what he's doing, so I just give it to him. And that's the story. I did not give everything I want. I did not get everything I wanted done. I might just throw it out to another person, but I'm having trouble deciding what I want sketchnoted. Right, like there's 40 chapters. It really matters what what I choose. Anyway, the final thing that I did today, because I pushed everything else out to tomorrow. Final thing that I did today was write the TLDR TOC. So this is like, the normal table of contents is just so long, and like nobody really gets like a high level opinion of like what each chapter is about. So I really want to optimize for skimming, and that's what the TLDR TOC now is. Basically, it just gives you an introduction of like, this is the purpose of each chapter, and this is the main point of each chapter. And it's hopefully, I haven't really thought through the widow text here, but then also just like, this is an ad, right? This is like supposed to be like a 1-2 sentence ad for that chapter, and then it's also hopefully interests you enough that you click it and you go through. So I'm going to design the TOC for that, and so hopefully this will pique enough interest that people who skim will go like, okay, there's something here for me. Like half of this is crap, but the other half is good, and I want them to narrow in on the stuff that they're likely to think is good. Okay, so that's about it. That's T9 for you. Onward and upward.